Hello, how are you?
I'm good, sir. I'm doing well.
Are you comfortable?
Yes, I am very comfortable here.
So, how's the journey of UPSC preparation for you?
Sir, I have given 2 attempts so far, and this is my second attempt. Last year, I couldn't clear prelims. However, in this attempt, I cleared prelims as well as mains, and I have reached the interview stage. And I'm very glad to be sitting in front of an esteemed panel such as yourselves.
Thank you so much. You are from?
Sir, I come from a hilltop city called Bidar in the northern part of Karnataka.
These days, Karnataka facing is a lot of political crisis
Yes,
or
sir.
turmoils.
Yes, sir.
How do you think that? What is your view about all this current scenario?
So the current scenario which is unfolding in the state of Karnataka stems from caste-based politics, especially of consolidation of Lingayat community, where the seers of religious mutts are saying that they want a Lingayat leader such as Yediyurappa. However, the party is saying that Mr. Yediyurappa is very old. He's 78 years old, and there needs to be a fresh change of face. So this is how I see the turmoil is unfolding.
Not in the current sense, in all senses, Karnataka see a lot of fluctuation in the political scenario. There's a lot of up and down. Before Yediyurappa, there was also a lot of ups and downs and turmoils in the political segments. These turmoils can affect the government organizations or the bureaucracy. What do you think about that?
So it's true, political stability is required for development as well as for bureaucracy. And Karnataka has indeed faced a lot of political change in the landscape. And however, sir, when it comes to bureaucracy, bureaucrats are supposed to be non-partisan. Irrespective of whichever party is in power, they have to think in long-term perspective. So when bureaucrats work, they have to keep these things in mind and not let change of party affect their work.
Suppose that आप वहाँ पे ऑफिसर होते और आर यू कंफर्टेबल?
Yes, I am.
अगर आप वहाँ पे ऑफिसर होते और इस तरह से पॉलिटिकल टर्मोइल हो रहा है, सो ये आपकी वर्किंग पे इफेक्ट डालता या नहीं डालता?
So there would be some effect because the party which would be changed and if new leader comes, then they may have different vision or different policies. So the existing policies may be changed. So in that sense, it does affect the working. However, when it comes to personal working as a public servant, politics should not affect one's work.
आप नवनीत राणा को जानते हैं?
No, ma'am. I'm unable to recall the name.
Okay. अभी न्यूज़ में काफ़ी इसकी चर्चा हुई थी.
Okay, ma'am.
और यहाँ आपने कहीं मेंशन किया है विजयवाड़ा.
So, ma'am, Vijay.
ये अच्छा ये कर्नाटका है ना?
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, विजयवाड़ा से ही मैं मतलब आप वहाँ पे नवनीत राणा करके अभी न्यूज़ में काफ़ी आया है.
Okay, ma'am.
तो कहीं नॉलेज है क्यों चर्चित हुई?
Ma'am, I'm unable to recall exactly Navneet Rana.
ये सांसद हैं और इनकी अभी सदस्यता के लिए चैलेंज किया गया है. और इसमें साथ में आपके जो एरिया में है तो वहाँ में कास्ट पॉलिटिक्स साथ में ओबीसी और एससी का जो है वो ये सारे इस बीच में काफी चर्चा में आया था. तो ये सब नॉलेज है क्या अभी?
मैम, आई एम एबल टू रिकॉल वन इंसिडेंट वेयर
और ये इन्होंने मतलब इंडिपेंडेंट फाइट करके ये लोकसभा में आई है.
Ma'am, I am able to recall one incident where the MP had fought an election from a reserved constituency, and later some people challenged her election because her caste was not allegedly in the scheduled caste list. So there was this tussle.
Remembered?
Yes, ma'am.
आपका इसमें थॉट्स क्या है? अजीब मतलब इट्स अ राइट और रॉन्ग एंड कोर्ट मतलब कोर्ट के डिसीजन पे नहीं, मतलब आपके थॉट्स क्या हैं इसके ऊपर?
I'm not exactly aware about the
Okay.
details of the incident. However, if some person is genuinely
नहीं,
from
ऐसा
a
नहीं
particular
लगता कि
caste,
कोई महिला आगे बढ़ रही है तो इससे कहीं ना कहीं मतलब उसको कोरिलेट किया, क्योंकि उन्होंने पूरा भी कोर्ट में चैलेंज किया है और काफी कुछ कोई फैक्ट आया नहीं है, तो ऐसा नहीं लगता कि वुमेन को पॉलिटिक्स में आगे जाने पे ऐसी कई चीजों का मतलब सामना करना पड़ता है, या फिर ये जेन्युइनली मतलब आपका क्या इसमें थॉट्स है?
It's true. When it comes to vulnerable sections, especially women, they face a lot of difficulties and hurdles from the society, even when it comes to politics. As we can see, their representation is merely just 15%. So they do face a lot of hurdles.
वो
from the
डिपेंडेंट
society.
है, उनके कोई पार्टी का सपोर्ट भी नहीं है.
Yes, ma'am. And other factors such as political connections and economic independence, women do lack these, and that is why the hurdles are created. So we do need some proactive measures to promote women empowerment, even when it comes to politics, such as maybe reservation in parliament for women. This can be one of the steps which can be taken.
रिसेंटली रिजर्वेशंस के बारे में आपके क्या विचार हैं?
Ma'am, reservation in politics or in employment?
इन पॉलिटिक्स.
I think reservation in politics should be given to women.
विमेन 33% और 50% की बात की जा रही है,
Yes,
राइट?
ma'am.
कि 50%, तो या मतलब कई ऐसे लीड लोग कर रही हैं कि नहीं, विमेन को रिजर्वेशंस की जरूरत नहीं, जिनको वो है वो फाइट करके खुद ही आएंगी, ठीक है?
Yes.
तो आपके इसमें क्या विचार है? 33% और 50% ऐसे रिजर्वेशंस की बात हो रही है.
Ma'am, personally, I think reservation of around 33% should be given to women in parliament, as we have seen that when it comes to our experience with the grassroots institutions like municipal bodies or panchayati raj, because of the reservation we have given there, women representation in the sarpanches have reached around 50%, and they are able to work a lot for women empowerment and women development and women centric issues. So similarly, when women parliamentarians will be there in Lok Sabha, better decisions can be taken. I would like to give one example. For instance, when say the issue of sanitary pads is there,
Right.
there is more than 15% GST applied on it, and the people who decided it, the women said that women were not able to raise their issues properly. So maybe when women percentage is increased, they will be more inclusivity and more sensitivity, especially the gender
मतलब
issues.
आप ये कहना चाहते हैं कि जब महिलाएं होंगी तभी महिला के मुद्दे आगे उठाए जा सकते हैं,
No, ma'am.
तभी अच्छे तरीके से मतलब किया जा सकता है, ये कहना है आपका?
Ma'am, what I am saying is, with women empowerment, with women participation, the process would be much more faster and easier. And certainly, ma'am, without women empowerment, these overall development cannot happen. And women empowerment is necessary.
नहीं, आप उसके साथ में ये भी तो कह रहे हैं ना कि वो एड्रेस बढ़िया से कर सकती हैं, है
Yes,
ना?
ma'am.
तो अभी रिसेंटली अगर आप देखें तो आप बहुत सारा नॉलेज आपके पास होगा, तो अभी नेशनल कमीशन फॉर वुमेन में जनरली लोगों को समझा जाता है कि जो वहाँ की मेंबर होती है सिर्फ महिला ही होती हैं, लेकिन रिसेंटली ये सारा ब्रेक हो रहा है, वहाँ पे पुरुष सदस्य भी हो रहे हैं, तो क्या सिर्फ एक महिला ही महिला के समस्याओं को एड्रेस कर सकती है, या फिर इसको कैसे जेंडर बैलेंस पे या सोसाइटी को आप कैसे देखेंगे?
Ma'am, I think it's not just women who will work for women empowerment. We have to take men and other sections of the society as well, because we have to even make them sensitive to the gender issues. So men participation is very seminal when it comes to women empowerment.
बहुत अच्छी बात है, लेकिन जब ऐसी बात है तो फिर विमेन रिजर्वेशंस की जरूरत क्यों है? अगर जब मेन भी वही मतलब है उस हिसाब से ही, उस संजीदगी से ही काम कर रहे हैं, तो फिर ये विमेन रिजर्वेशन और महिला इश्यूज को एड्रेस करना, तो फिर वही जरूरत क्या है?
Men should understand this and work for women equality. However, they are if women participation is more, they will be peer-to-peer learning,
right,
between men and women, and there would be more parity. And maybe with more women participation, they would be able to make other men understand about the issues better, and things will improve.
आपको ऐसा लगता है 50% रिजर्वेशन कोई ऐसा स्टेट है जिन्होंने मतलब इसको अपने के यहाँ लागू करने की कोशिश की है, या फिर इन प्रोसेस, या फिर कोई स्टेट आपके नॉलेज में है क्या?
मैम, with respect to
सिमिलर जिस टॉपिक पे हम बात कर रहे हैं,
Ma'am, I'm unable to recall, but I think Haryana, the state of Haryana, was taking some steps in local bodies.
50%?
Yes, ma'am. I'm unable to recall.
बिहार के बारे में सुना है आपने? नीतीश कुमार के कभी पॉलिसी पढ़ी है आपने?
Ma'am,
अलग अलग स्टेट मतलब
yes, ma'am.
इस पे बिहार स्टेट में कुछ ऐसा लगा है?
Ma'am, I've heard about certain reservation and special policies in Bihar, but I'm not exactly aware of the
Okay.
percentage of reservation which was offered.
अच्छा, ये राजा राम मोहन राय के बारे में आपका क्या ख्याल है?
Ma'am, Raja Ram Mohan Roy was a philosopher and jurist.
हाँ, वो ठीक है. मैं जिस टॉपिक पे बात कर रही हूँ, मेरा वही आपका सारा सवाल उसी से जुड़ा हुआ है.
Ma'am, what he did was he took the help of laws and even the cultural aspects of religion and used this to change the attitude of society towards women. He changed the attitude of society towards derogatory practices like sati. So through the life of Raja Ram Mohan Roy, we can learn how attitude formation can mold society in a better direction.
आज के जब आप एक कहीं पोस्टेड होते हैं,
Yes, ma'am.
और जो अभी हालात हैं,
Yes, ma'am.
तो मुझे तो लगता है कि राजा राम मोहन रॉय की बात कर रहे हैं और आज की बात कर रहे हैं, तो बहुत बड़ा फर्क होना चाहिए.
Yes, ma'am.
क्योंकि हम लोग तो तरक्की और आगे डेवलप्ड नहीं कहेंगे, लेकिन डेवलपिंग से आगे कहेंगे. उस टाइम से तो बहुत ज्यादा हम तरक्की में हैं. तो क्या आपको लगता है कि राजा राम मोहन रॉय जिस टाइम में उन्होंने सोसाइटी में सारा अपना कंट्रीब्यूशंस दिया था, और जो आज एक लैंडमार्क बन चुका, आप खुद उस बात को मतलब स्वीकार कर रहे हैं, तो ऐसा लगता है कि आप जब एक अधिकारी के तौर पे आप ऐसा कुछ चेंज पे क्या काम कर सकते हैं, और आपको लगता है कि ऐसा करना चाहिए? सोचा है कभी आपने?
Yes, ma'am. I have thought about it.
कब सोचा है? जब ड्यूरिंग स्टडी या फिर क्लास में या फिर एग्जामिनेशन के, मतलब कब ऐसा थॉट्स आया?
Ma'am, in my leisure time, I do have discussions with my friends on topics like these. So during these discussions, I used to think about these. And even when I am alone having a cup of tea, I used to think
अच्छा.
about things like these.
यानी आपके स्वविचार भी चलते रहे?
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, I think we can borrow a lot of things and learn a lot of things from history, as well as from the personality of Raja Ram Mohan Roy, which can be applied even today. We saw how Raja Ram Mohan Roy used religious scriptures and also added modern interpretation of those. So we can even do this in the present times and end the derogatory practices, such as, let's say, the derogatory practices of triple talaq. So we can even take the help of religious scriptures and show that this is not compatible with today's time and this is a derogatory practice. So we can learn these things from Raja Ram Mohan Roy. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You mentioned about the ethical hacking.
Yes.
Recently, there is a controversy about Pegasus.
Yes.
Are you aware about that?
Yes.
Okay. I have two views about that.
Sure.
One is the Indian political system, who already said that कि democracy में ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. That's a attack on democracy. Second thing, Pegasus itself yesterday proclaimed कि हमने पूरी दुनिया को बचाया है. Ethical hacking has a very thin line of choosing between right and wrong. इस Pegasus के व्यू के हिसाब से मुझे बताओ, ये सही या गलत है?
So when it comes to ethical hacking, first of all, I would like to say that ethical hacking itself is a misnomer. Ethical hacking is not hacking per se. You are already given permission to the system and you improve the cyber security of the system by finding bugs and issues. So this is what ethical hacking is about. However, when it comes to the issue of Pegasus or national security in general, for the purpose of national security, snooping may be allowed. However, in this particular issue of Pegasus and snooping on WhatsApp of certain personalities, known personalities, the government has said that illegal snooping has not been done and more details are yet to emerge. And already government of Israel has initiated an inquiry on the organization NSO which sold the software Pegasus. So maybe, sir, more details are yet to emerge. After that, there will be more clarity on who did what snooping.
बट इस तरह के जो कंट्रोवर्सीज हमेशा रही हैं, स्नोडेन के टाइम में भी रही हैं, विकीलीक्स के भी टाइम में रही हैं, If somebody is doing so, एक तरफ हमारा right to privacy है, which is also very important, और एक तरफ हमारी national security है. If you are in charge of national security, आप किधर जाना चाहोगे?
Sir, I think both have to be balanced because right to privacy is also a fundamental right. Everyone's privacy matters. However, every fundamental right has reasonable restrictions. When it comes to issue of national security is supreme because it involves security of all the constituents of the country. So we have to balance both the things. And there is a thin line and a fine balance which we can maintain between.
So how can you distinguish between the hacking and ethical hacking?
So hacking in general is, as per the IT Act, it is gaining illegal access to someone's computer and manipulating some data. However, ethical hacking is not hacking per se. It is you already have legal permissions, and you just improve the cybersecurity of the system to make it more secure. So these are two very distinct things.
Because there is a very lot of controversy because right to privacy is a very personal thing. And national security is a holistic thing. They're two different things. And both parties, one who thinking about there is an attack on democracy and one who thinking the national security is superior. Both parties put their own rights or their own view on this particular issue. आप इसको कैसे evaluate कर रहे हो?
So both the aspects, even privacy and national security, both of them are important, and we have to find a fine balance between the two. However, sir, when it comes to national security, government agencies send requests to social media intermediaries like Facebook or Google to share the data in case the person involved is prone to radicalization or is part of some terrorist ring or money laundering ring. In such extreme cases where national security threat is imminent, only then privacy might be diluted. However, in general cases of an individual's dignity, privacy is respected by the government and should be done so.
But define कैसे करेगा? हमें जाना है, but हमें ब्रेक कहाँ लगाना है? ये डिफाइन कैसे होगा? मैं नेशनल सिक्योरिटी के नाम पे एक इंसान के दिमाग में क्या चल रहा है, इट्स अ पर्सन माइंड में उसमें क्या चल रहा है, मैं इसको डिफाइन कैसे करूँगा? मैं सबकी जो है वो जासूसी करना चाहता हूँ, सभी स्पाईवेयर में यूज़ करना चाहता हूँ. So break कैसे लगेगा hacking और ethical hacking में?
Sir, already there are certain safeguards. For instance, to do, even if someone wants to do snooping online, one has to get the permission of Home Secretary. So if we want to add certain more safeguards to safeguard individual privacy, what we can do is we can also borrow from practice of United States, where they also get a judicial follow-up, where judicial permission is also required. A digital warrant is required for this purpose, for breaking the encryption. So maybe we can add that safeguard as well, a judicial follow-up.
You mentioned about the artificial intelligence.
Yes.
In a very short manner, can you define me artificial intelligence is curse or a boom for humanity?
Sir, any technology by itself is neutral. It is how we use and leverage the technology that makes it good or bad. So even when it comes to AI, if we are using it to treat and find new diagnosis of cancer patient, it is good and a boon. However, if we use AI to create deep fakes of people, it will turn out to be a curse. So it is how we use the technology that makes it good or bad.
But in recent scenario, the people are mostly self-oriented or they are crossing the line. अच्छा बुरा इनसे बहुत आगे निकल के जस्ट वो करना चाहते हैं, वो अपने फायदे के लिए करना चाहते हैं. आपको क्या लगता है कि आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस हमारा फ्यूचर है या ये हमारी आगे बर्बादी तबाही है?
Sir, as we know, we are transitioning from the third industrial revolution to the fourth industrial revolution, where artificial intelligence plays a very important part when it comes to industrialization. So in the future, the future of AI does look bright. However, it also comes with certain concerns, whether how it will affect the jobs of people, as well as the privacy and security of the people. So for this, what we need adequate safeguards, and the governments need to work together to define the limits of AI. We need to have a convention, and besides this, we also need a data protection act, which is in the pipeline. So these things can protect us from the ills of AI.
Suppose that after 15 years from today, you are a senior bureaucrat. Imagine it. And artificial intelligence now a part of general life. At that time, India's population will grow more than 1.45 billion. At that time, in your district or in your jurisdiction, how will you manage the artificial intelligence uses and the job creation? Yours the sole responsibility in your domain, in your jurisdiction. कैसे बैलेंस करोगे आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस को और वो जो जॉब लॉस हो रही है या जॉब क्रिएशन को आप इंडियन सिनेरियो में कैसे मैनेज करोगे?
So whenever a new industrial revolution takes place, there are job losses. However, newer forms of jobs are also created and economic productivity is boosted. So what we need to do is, what I will do is, I will reskill the people and prepare them for future skills. For instance, we can see programming is being taught now in the schools since 8th grade. Earlier it was done only in graduation. So we can reorient the skills, the newer forms of skills like programming. These could be taught to the people. So I will also take special camps for newer skills, and I will try to create a reskilling revolution. Yes, sir.
बट कुछ भी हो जाए जनरल वे में, मशीन्स ह्यूमन की जॉब ले लेंगे. फॉर एग्जांपल आज भी अगर एक जेसीबी मशीन जो है वो 10 से ज़्यादा लोगों का काम अकेले कर लेती है. फॉर एग्जांपल एट दैट टाइम लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स, डाटा कलेक्ट हो चुका होगा, बिहेवियर पता हो चुका होगा. आप क्या रीस्किलिंग करके उनको कहाँ लेकर जाओगे? वहाँ ह्यूमंस की नीड नहीं होगा. रोबोटिक हैंड्स होंगे, रोबोट्स होंगे, ह्यूमनाइड्स होंगे. तो हम आइडियलिज्म तो कह सकते हैं, वो रीस्किलिंग कर सकते हैं, लेकिन उनसे हम काम क्या देंगे? उन्हें हम काम क्या देंगे? कोई आपने 4 कोई ऐसे एरियाज डिफाइन किए हैं जिनको आपको लगता है कि यहां पर हम अपने लोगों को जॉब दे सकते हैं आज से 15 साल बाद?
Sir, certain areas are there where jobs can be created. For instance, those machines have to be repaired and replaced as well. So in that area, jobs will be created. And even in the creation of those machines, you will need human touch there. So even there, jobs will be created. And apart from it, where AI is powered by data, and people can act as data creators. So even this is an area where jobs will be created. So these are certain areas where jobs will be created.
You missed the fourth one. I asked about the fourth one.
So fourth one, I'm unable to recall exactly at the moment. However, these AI systems are not going to be deployed by themselves. They will have humans who will deploy them at the places. For instance, IoT technology is there. It will be distributed over a large geographical place. So these sensors have to be manually installed by the people. So even in installation and deployment, jobs will be created. So these are the aspects.
इंडियन सिनेरियो में देखें, आपकी बात सही लगती है. 20% लोगों के लिए, वो जो स्किल्ड हैं, वो जो इंग्लिश जानते हैं, वो लोग जो प्रिविलेज हैं. बट आज से 15 साल बाद आपको क्या लगता है कि हमारी एग्रीकल्चर में जो 50% पॉपुलेशन है वो स्किल्ड हो पाएगी इन सब चीज़ों के लिए, डाटा क्रिएटर्स के लिए, टू बी रिपेयर द मशीन्स, हाईली सोफिस्टिकेटेड मशीन? और मुझे लगता है उस समय तो मशीन ही मशीन को ठीक कर लेगी, बिकॉज नाउ वी आर गोइंग इनटू द मशीन एज. मशीन विल बी इंटेलिजेंट एज सून एज पॉसिबल. सो इतनी बड़ी पॉपुलेशन को आप क्या करोगे? आप कैसे, आपके पास पावर्स हैं, मैं आपको पावर्स एक इमेजिन कर रहा हूं, आप कैसे करोगे?
Sir, I believe machines can never replace all the humans, because humans are the consumers of the goods. And if humans are not earning money, who will buy the goods? So machines will never replace humans in totality.
तो इन दैट टाइम आप कैसे जॉब, हमारे यहाँ कैसे जॉब क्रिएट करोगे?
Sir, besides jobs, we can leverage the machines to create goods and economic growth. For instance, even when it comes to agriculture, we can use precision farming to increase the productivity of the farms. So this will benefit the farming sector as well. And the productivity of the goods and fruits or vegetables which they create will be increased. And then they can sell this, and consumers will be humans as well. So jobs will never be truly replaced. And I would also like to quote Mahatma Gandhi in this regard, who said that machinery has its place. It has come to stay. However, it should not be allowed to displace necessary human labor.
सर, हमारे कुछ सवाल हैं. बिल्कुल आप जो बोल रहे हैं वो हाइपो में तो ठीक है, ठीक है. एक इमेजिनरी वर्ल्ड में जैसे भी है, और वो जो अभी का हालात हैं, और जैसे ये मशीन और जो जॉब के बारे में चर्चा हो रही है, बिल्कुल ठीक है. 15 साल के बाद में सर पूछ रहे हैं, लेकिन मैं अभी रिसेंटली ही हमारे कुछ ऐसे सवाल हैं जो मैं एज ए एक्सपर्ट के तौर पे आपसे जानना चाहूँगी, क्योंकि आपका एक हॉबी भी है और आपने इस फील्ड में काम भी किया हुआ है, जहाँ तक मैं आपके सीवी में देख रही हूँ। कुछ कुछ आपको नॉलेज है और एक आम लोगों से बेहतर आप उसका जवाब दे सकते हैं। सर ये बताइए कि जैसे अभी कोरोना काल में बहुत सारे ऐसी चीज़ है कि लोग मशीनरी से दूर हो रहे हैं। अभी फ्रिज, एसी, इससे लोग दूर होके, आप समझ रहे हैं, ठीक है, वो बहुत पुरानी पद्धति में जैसे मशीन के है, तो अभी लोग चक्की पे जा रहे हैं, ऑर्गेनिक पे जा रहे हैं। ये सारे जो आप आगे बढ़ने की बात कर रहे हैं, जबकि वो स्वास्थ्य लाभ के लिए वो बैक के तरफ जा रहे हैं, पीछे की तरफ जा रहे हैं। और वैसी स्थिति में मुझे ये बताएं कि जब मशीन का वो दौर आ जाएगा तो क्या उसका स्वास्थ्य और पर्यावरण पे क्या असर पड़ेगा, और उस समय क्या हम उस मशीन के आपके होते हुए भी सब टेक्नोलॉजी आप दे रहे हैं, क्या ह्यूमन उसे एक्सेप्ट करेगा क्या, आज के दौर जो ये देख चुका है? ये हमारे सवाल है।
Ma'am, first of all, I consider myself, I do not consider myself an expert of AI. I consider myself a student of AI who is still learning about AI. Coming to your question, ma'am, it is true that technology also has certain negative effects. It can contribute to radiation or pollution, or it can have some unintended negative effects as well. However, our approach should be to minimize those effects and work towards sustainable development, where technology is improved and the environmental costs and health factors effects are minimized. So we have to create better technology which is suitable for health and as well as the environment. And apart from this, even embracing traditional technology does no harm, because the traditional technologies which India had, like you rightly mentioned, chakki system to for flour. So these practices are also carbon footprint free. So even these practices should be promoted, and practices like organic farming should also be promoted. They also have a role to play.
सर वो जो आगे का एक विजन हमें अभी दिखाया गया, आप दोनों बात कर रहे थे, तो वो विजन में मतलब सर मैं भी इमेजिन में देख पा रही थी, लेकिन मैं उसे कोरिलेट नहीं कर पा रही थी। और ये आपने विनम्रता से कहा कि मैं एक स्टूडेंट हूँ, और नहीं सर, मैं आपको एक स्टूडेंट नहीं देख रही, मैं बिल्कुल एक आम लोगों के लिए, अगर आप सोसाइटी में क्या है, आप इंजीनियरिंग कर रहे हैं, आप कहीं मेडिकल साइड में आप जा रहे हैं, कोई भी आप एक्सपर्ट, एक तरह से एक विषय के बारे में अधिक से अधिक जानकारी ले रहे हैं, सारी जनता तो वो काम नहीं करती ना सर। तो उसके लिए तो आप एक एक्सपर्ट के तौर पे आ रहे हैं, आप अपने डिस्ट्रिक्ट पे आप एक आइडियल भी बना सकते हैं और अपने थॉट्स को इम्प्लीमेंट कर सकते हैं। तो मेरे लिए तो आप सर एक्सपर्ट हुए। तो अभी भी हम इन चीज़ों को कोरिलेट नहीं कर पा रहे कि आपका जो विजन है, जो मशीनरी आप एक तरह से एरा बनाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, मतलब आप मीन्स जो भी ये समुदाय काम कर रहा है आगे मशीन पे जाने का, तो वो ह्यूमन के लिए कितना उपयोगी हो सकता है सर उस टाइम का, मतलब एज ए ह्यूमन, मतलब मैं नहीं कोरिलेट कर पा रही हूँ।
Ma'am, it's very difficult to predict how things will work out in the long run. However, since all the world is moving towards technological change, we cannot be stagnant when it comes to these areas. Still, we need to be protective and inclusive of people's participation. So what I will do is, because technology has proliferated everywhere, there are mobile phones, internet access to around 70% of India, but still digital literacy is missing. They have the phones in their hands, they have technologies in their hands, but literacy of technology is missing. So the area where I will work is towards creating this, bridging this gap of technological literacy. Yes, ma'am.
सर इसके दुष्प्रभाव तो हमें दिख रहे हैं, लेकिन सर ये बैलेंस के लिए क्या ऐसा मतलब बहुत ठोस रणनीति अगर बने, पॉलिसी पे भी आपको काम करना पड़ेगा, आप आगे जाएंगे। अगर आप पॉलिसी मेकर नहीं है, लेकिन आप पॉलिसी के लिए आप अपना दे तो सकते हैं, अपने व्यूज दे सकते हैं, अपनी एडवाइस दे सकते हैं। उसमें क्या ऐसा 3 चीज हो सकता है कि टेक्नोलॉजी भी रहे, हम आगे बढ़ते भी रहें, और पर्यावरण और जो एक ह्यूमन के लिए है उसका स्वास्थ्य और सब उसका संवर्धन बना रहे, उसके लिए क्या हो सकता है?
Ma'am, when it comes to developmental projects, we already have a thing called environmental impact assessment. So we can create a newer model called technological impact assessment. So when we are implementing technologies, say in agriculture, precision agriculture, so we can do a technological impact assessment and see how it will impact different social groups. And if the costs are too high, we can dissuade from that.
लास्ट तो मोटिव आपका या सबका तो ये होना चाहिए ना कि सोसाइटी को सर्व करना
Yes, ma'am. Technology is only a means to serve the society. If
Right.
technology should not be used as an end in itself.
Right. Your optional is PSIR.
Yes, sir.
But one question: you have read Chanakya and Machiavelli.
Yes, sir.
Are you aware about that?
Yes, sir. I am aware about Chanakya and
In
Machiavelli.
a very short manner, very precise answer I need. In their perspective, between the Chanakya and Machiavelli, who is objective and who is subjective in their perspective, according to you?
Sir,
Question repeat करना है, ये clear है?
sir, it's clear to me. Yes, sir. Sir, I think Machiavelli is more objective, and when it comes to Chanakya, he does tend to get subjective. For instance, Chanakya promotes the use of he always keeps king below the dharma and also takes advices from the Brahmin class. However, when it comes to Machiavelli, Machiavelli uses religion only as a tool to serve the nation's interests, and he detests the classes which are elite. So there is less scope for subjectivity in Machiavelli.
In present political scenario in India, आप दोनों में से किसको ज़्यादा relevant पाते हैं?
Sir, in the current scenario, or even I think even otherwise, Chanakya's philosophies are much more comprehensive and beyond space and time. His theories like mandala theory and other theories are still relevant in today's context. And Chanakya is much more realistic in nature than Machiavelli. And as we know, the world is moving towards realism. So I feel Chanakya's work has more relevance. And when it comes to Machiavelli, he has given from a very Eurocentric perspective that religion and state is separate. But in India, the definition of secularism is inclusive, where state coexists with religion. So I feel Kautilya or Chanakya is more relevant in Indian context.
In Indian context.
Yes, sir.
But in everywhere politics, I feel Machiavelli's concept that when you have the power, you don't have to ask to anybody what I should do, what I should not, क्या करना है, क्या नहीं करना है. चाणक्य सब कुछ लोगों में कहते हैं, देते हैं. पावर है, फिर भी राजा जो है वो उस धन का मालिक नहीं है, वो केवल उसका एक प्रोटेक्टर है, उसको संरक्षक है, ट्रस्टी है. तो आपको लगता है कि आज हमारा जो पॉलिटिकल सिस्टम है, मुझे तो फील होता है कि वो मकियावेली की तरफ ज़्यादा जा रहा है इन कंपेयर टू द आइडियलिज्म ऑफ कौटिल्य. एग्जाम्पल से आप मुझे बताना चाहेंगे?
Sir, I think Kautilya wasn't idealistic. He also had elements of realism in his philosophy. However, he said that his philosophy was similar to the quote which says great power comes with great responsibility. So I think even when it comes to the political landscape of the country, leaders should be responsible to the public, and they are accountable because we have a democracy. People can choose them or change them. However, when it comes to Machiavelli, he did not provide any scope for changing his idealistic prince. So I think in the context of India, Kautilya is more relevant.
Right. Thank you so much. Another question? Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
ओजांक आईएएस एकेडमी की तरफ से अग्रिम शुभकामनाएं.
Thank you,
Best
ma'am.
of luck.